and for helping to get this legislation into law. We also want to thank President Trump for the promises he made to us. He said he would secure our borders and that he would never forget about Laken. And he hasn't. He's a man of his word. We trust that he will fight for the American people. Most importantly, I want to thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because without his sacrifices, Laken's story would have ended on that horrific day that she was taken from us.
It's heart-wrenching. But you know who I would like to thank? I would like to thank Laken Riley. Her death is not in vain. This law will save other lives. Her family coming forward and telling her story will save other lives. President Trump, his support of this law, and the bipartisan support of this law will save lives. Turning now to the border. All of this is connected. We are seeing a dramatic drop in border crossings. We're down to less than 600 border crossings a day across the entire southern border. We were in the tens of thousands a day under Joe Biden. In the Del Rio sector of Texas, they were, about a year ago, having 4,000 illegals cross a day. We're down to around 60 a day. President Trump's quest there is working. Here's President Trump again.
This week compared to a comparable time a year ago, think of this, the number of illegal border crossers has already fallen by more than 100%. And because the election was coming, they started getting a little bit tougher on the border. They tried to follow our policies, and they did much better, but it still was horrible. The numbers were still horrible, so that's 100% over those. They only did it because of the election, so they knew what they were doing was wrong.
They did. And, you know, no one can figure it out. Why would you actively want to destroy a nation? This is what the Democrats were about. I believe it's what many of them are still about. The problem for them is they've been exposed because no one can figure out the game plan other than complete chaos, complete destruction, and violence overtaking the streets. Now, to clean up some fake news for you. You know, President Trump put this financial aid freeze on paying money out to groups and entities and grants. This does not have anything to do with your grandma who gets a Social Security payment, okay? This has to do with federal aid money that we need to figure out. So President Trump says, no, we're not spending $50 million on condoms in Gaza. Yes, you heard that right. Whose idea is that, by the way? No more $37 million to the World Health Organization after we drop out. That almost went through. So it has nothing to do with individual payments, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, food stamps, this type of thing. The mainstream media is lying to the American people, trying to scare you into thinking it is. Here's President Trump.
And I'm restating right now to correct any confusion that the media has purposely and somehow, for whatever reason, created Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid have not been affected by any action we're taking in any way, shape, or form. We are merely looking at parts of the big bureaucracy where there has been tremendous waste and fraud and abuse.
I'm telling you what, the media is so freaking devious. They hate President Trump. They hate the idea of freedom. They hate the idea of a limited government. They hate the idea of us saving money rather than spending money. So what does the media do? They make up lies. Well, now they have been exposed and people don't buy it anymore. Which brings us now to Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s confirmation hearing to be the next Health and Human Services Secretary. He did a fabulous job today. Now, I worry about the rhinos, the Republicans in name only, people like Senator Thom Tillis. I don't know if this question was meant to sink RFK, but in the end, it propped him up. Is he a conspiracy theorist? Watch.
I got a real quick question for you. Are you a conspiracy theorist?
That is a pejorative, Senator, that's applied to me, mainly to keep me from asking difficult questions of powerful interests. I was told that I was a conspiracy theorist. That label was applied to me because I said that the vaccines, the COVID vaccine, didn't prevent transmission and it wouldn't prevent infection, when the government was telling people, Americans, that it would. I was saying that because I was looking at the monkey studies in May of 2020. I was called a conspiracy. Now everybody admits it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said red dye caused cancer. And now FDA has acknowledged that and banned it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said fluoride lowered IQ. Last week, JAMA published a meta-review of 87 studies saying that there's a direct inverse correlation between IQ loss.
All right, so I'm going to assume
I
a lot
could go
of
on
those,
for about a week.
Is there any one of them that you can say, you got me, that really was a conspiracy theory? Or
The reality is, all of the so-called conspiracy theories came true. Remember, I was a conspiracy theorist for telling you that COVID leaked from that lab in Wuhan, quite possibly on purpose. Now, almost everyone agrees that it most certainly came from the lab, and it quite possibly was on purpose, not a conspiracy. At times, the hearing bordered on ridiculousness. Leave it to the Democrats. Bernie Sanders, okay? He is literally incensed by a baby's onesie that says unvaxxed and unafraid. I mean, look at this onesie on the screen. So here you go. Play it.
One of them is titled Unvaxxed, Unafraid. Next one, and they're sold for $26 a piece, by the way. Next one is No Vax, No Problem. Can you tell us now that you will, now that you are pro-vaccine, that you're going to have your organization take these products off the market?
Senator, I have no power over that organization. I'm not part of it. I resigned from the board.
Yeah, that was just a few months ago. You founded that. You certainly have power. You can make that call. Are you supportive of this?
Bernie Sanders, you crazy nutty professor. It's a T-shirt, man. It's a T-shirt. Unvaxxed and unafraid. And I'm sure it really is talking about the COVID vax, but there's something wrong when we're giving kids 60, 70-something vaccinations in a very short period of time. I think everybody would agree with that. So I want to bring in a good friend of mine to help me break down this hearing and just how did RFK Jr. do. She's a friend of his, personal friend of his. On with me now, Chief of Disaster and Emergency Medicine for the Wellness Company, Dr. Kelly Victory is with us. Dr. Victory, it's good to see you.
Thanks for having me, Grant.
All right, look, I know you're a little biased because he is a personal friend of yours, RFK Jr., but I thought he did great today.
Well, it certainly was a dramatic and contentious hearing, but I agree with you. I think that Robert Kennedy performed in a stellar fashion. You have to have the sort of perfect combination of intestinal fortitude, unflappable integrity, and the patience of Job to get through one of these hearings. Most of it was disingenuous. These senators, in large part, don't really want to know Robert Kennedy Jr.'s position on something. They want to hurl pejoratives at him, whether it's conspiracy theorist or anti-vaxxer, climate extremist, whatever it is. They want to scream, get some talking points on the record, and really don't want to hear what he has to say. I think he did a great job of holding his own. He shut them down time and time again. He proved them to be wrong. And I find it fascinating that little clip with Bernie Sanders, being incensed about the onesie, saying that, unvaxxed and unafraid. This is from the party, I will remind you, of bodily autonomy, the same party that is demanding that women should have a right to do whatever they want with their own bodies. Apparently, babies don't get the same.
Yeah, the right to choose gets out the door when it comes to a government vaccine. I found this interesting. So, Bernie Sanders is one character. You got Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, the other character. She shows how dopey she is and Democrats are. She goes after RFK Jr. about taking money from Big Pharma. I'm like, taking money from Big Pharma? Have you not been following this guy? Watch this exchange.
Will you commit that when you leave this job, you will not accept compensation from a drug company, a medical device company, a hospital system, or a health insurer for at least 4 years, including as a lobbyist or a board member?
Can you just repeat the last part of the question? Can I commit?
You're not going to take money from drug companies in any way, shape, or form.
Who? Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy to commit to that.
Okay, good. That's what I figured. I said it's an easy question to start with.
But what a ridiculous question. You're asking the one guy who wants to, obliterate the big business of pay to play with government and big pharma, Dr. Victory.
Well, she was trying to set him up for the next part of her question, Grant, which was to box him into the corner and say that he has made money over the years from lawsuits that have been brought against Big Pharma when he represents a client personally or when he refers them to a firm where he then gets a portion of any wins if they actually win the case. And Elizabeth Warren went on to try to get Robert Kennedy to say that he would not take any monies from those sorts of lawsuits for the duration of his tenure in HHS. But then she tries to go on and make him say that even after that he wouldn't sue the drug companies, which is ridiculous.
Watch this. You asked for it. You got it. Roll it, guys.
I'm asking about fees from suing drug companies. Will you agree not to do that?
You're asking me to not sue drug companies,
no,
and I'm not going to agree to that,
drug
Senator.
Companies as much as you want.
I'm not going to agree to not sue drug companies or anybody.
I mean, and if he sues drug companies as a lawyer, why wouldn't he be allowed to take fees from it? How does? I mean, they are so backwards.
Exactly. And the reality is, and this is what it all boils down to, Grant, is that Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and dozens of senators have taken millions of dollars. I believe that with Elizabeth Warren, I believe that her number is somewhere in the range of $5.6 million she's taken in the last couple of years. Bernie Sanders, $1.7 million, and on and on. And they have been feathering their nests with this money from Big Pharma, which is the biggest lobbying force in Washington, and they don't want it to end.
So here you go. I mean, I've always said I could build an entire program for years on Democrat hypocrisy. This, again, is what we see on a daily basis. Dr. Kelly Victory, it's always great to see you. We appreciate you weighing in on this tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I know he'll get confirmed.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're hoping so, and it looks pretty good, I think. And we're grateful to Wellness Company for their support of this program, my podcast, and so many great conservative outlets as well. All right, folks, moving on now to a story that I think the story is what is the real story. Of course, I'm talking about the drones. We got this statement, and I think it's President Trump staying true to his word that he would tell us what the drones were. This was Caroline Leavitt during her fabulous news conference yesterday.
From President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists.
All right, for research and other reasons. So, all right, the drones aren't dangerous. All right, this is good. The FAA says they approved them, but I don't understand how this works because the FBI didn't know about it. The Pentagon didn't know about it, but the FAA did, so nobody's communicating. But what were they searching for? What's the research for? I go back to my original assessment of sources telling us about this missing radioactive material. Were the drones mapping the area for radioactive material to see if there were any differences in radioactive readings? It could be one aspect of it, but there could be many. The reality is, if the FAA knew, why didn't they tell anybody under the Biden administration? This is a New Jersey sheriff.
It's a little bit disappointing and concerning still at the same time. I mean, had they just put that simple statement out, we wouldn't have wasted so many resources. It's disappointing that we had to have the Department of Homeland Security from D.C. in here with special equipment. It's disappointing that the FBI had to waste all their man hours on a tip line for hundreds and hundreds of phone calls. And it's disappointing on the local and county level here where we had to do the same thing, wasting our resources and putting our residents in fear and an apprehensive state.
All right, so could the communication between agencies be that bad? I mean, the FAA has to see the news that Homeland Security is investigating. We got local agencies investigating, and they just remain silent. What are they looking for? And is the vagueness behind this statement from President Trump, is it about protecting the public from widespread panic into something? We don't know, but something is up. I want to bring in with me now 32-year Air Force combat veteran, Colonel Rob Maness. Colonel, it's good to see you again. Thanks for coming on.
Good to see you, Grant.
All right, I don't know. I'm just not buying this vagueness, research, and other purposes.
Well, you probably recall last time we talked, I said it was either an adversary or some type of government operation. I'm with you. I think it's the Nuclear Emergency Support Team or NEST team operation that was probably doing, at a minimum, some background radiation readings around the Bedminster golf course and the homes of President Trump, or they were actually looking for this loose radioactive material that we previously discussed. That's the only thing that really fits, and I'm not surprised, again, that it was a government operation.
Look, and I want to make it clear, I'm not criticizing President Trump's statement on this. He promised he'd figure out what the drones were. He says they were all FAA approved on here, so I'm going to take his word for it. There's got to be a reason why they don't want to go into details. Do you think it is the possibility of panicking people?
No, I just think the programs are all compartmentalized. Many of them are mixed in with what's called special access programs, which could explain the lack of coordination between agencies. But it could also be incompetence. Remember, we're talking about the Biden administration and Pete Buttigieg's Department of Transportation when you're talking about the FAA and whether they properly communicated with other government agencies or not. And hopefully Sean Duffy, the new Secretary of Transportation, will get to the bottom of this if that was an issue. But I'm not criticizing President Trump's statement either. They put out the word research. And that's, to me, tells me it's a government program that has something to do probably with security around Bedminster.
In many respects, the statement tells some of the story with research and other purposes. He's telling us, I can't tell you everything, but don't worry, they're not our enemies here. It's interesting because we're almost 25 years from 9/11, that horrible attack on our soil. I was one of the first to get to Ground Zero, and I covered that event, for years. I still do. The main theme of that was a lack of communication on so many levels inside federal government, from trying to capture the terrorists and stop the terrorists. There was no communication, all the way to emergency response. Units couldn't talk to each other. I can't believe we're almost 25 years later and we still have these communication between agency problems.
Oh, yeah, Grant, I was at the Pentagon on 9/11, and I still remember having to volunteer to go back into the building to help fight fires, find the wounded, mark evidence and those kind of things, because the fire department couldn't get into the building because there was no communication between the local authorities, the building authorities, and the national authorities. So we've still have a lot of work to do. And the fixes that were put in place, like the Department of Homeland Security, the TSA, Transportation Security Administration, weren't really fixes. They were just added layers of bureaucracy that complicates the system too much, and they need to be abolished.
Let me play one more clip for you, going back to the drone situation. This is a UFO expert, Jeremy Campbell. He was on, I believe it was News Nation, talking about why he's not totally convinced that the drones were totally harmless. Take a listen to this.
Just logically, that explanation does not make any sense. Did the FAA authorize the ones that buzzed Langley for 17 nights in a row, or the untrackable drones that infiltrated 3 U.S. and UK air bases for weeks? Why were the drones not affected by anti-drone technology? Did the FAA issue flight restrictions if they authorized this? If these were approved tests, why did the FAA, DOD, FBI, or anybody else, why didn't they tell us that for months? It's an absolute whitewash.
I guess, Colonel, I would ask your response to his questions. I think they're legitimate questions.
Well, they are legitimate questions. Now, when I heard the statement from Ms. Leavitt today, I didn't hear anything about Langley Air Force Base or the Newport News Shipyard or Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which had to shut down its airspace I only heard about the New Jersey drones. So let's address those. I still believe that those were conducted operations by some sort of adversary, more than likely the Chinese communists. And if the base commander at Langley Air Force Base, where the 1st Fighter Wing is, the premier combat wing in the United States Air Force within our territory, wasn't notified, then there's a problem. Really a government research operation going on.
And again, words are by design, especially coming out of the White House. There's probably a reason why they left off Langley and Virginia and the other drones as well and only talked about New Jersey. It's great having you on, Colonel. I appreciate you. As always, thank you.
Thank you, Grant. Have a great one.
Absolutely, you too. And again, folks, that's a story we'll continue to follow because I think now we still want a lot of answers. All right, hey, how about Birch Gold? Folks, that is a trusted RAV partner. They're releasing their ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era with a foreword by Donald Trump Jr. You can get your free copy along with Birch Gold's free information kit on gold by texting America to the number 989898. Here's the facts. The national debt continues to increase. Our interest payments on national debt continue to increase. Gold is still your hedge against a weakened dollar. So text America to the number 989898 for your free copy of the ultimate guide to gold in the Trump era. Again, no obligation, just information. All right, Los Angeles officials are pleased to announce that fire victims can start cleaning up, but only if it pleases the crown. That next.
Hello, this is Mike Huckabee. President Trump said he wants to take back the White House and teach our kids to love our country. That's why my team created the Kids Guide to President Trump. It'll teach your kids all about President Trump's accomplishments and his vision for America. And right now, I want to give it to you for free as part of this free gift bundle.
Order your free Kids Guide to President Trump, get a free bonus guide, and a free membership to AMAC featuring dozens of money-saving benefits at kidsneedtrump.com. That's kidsneedtrump.com.
Hello, my friend. Pat Boone here. You know our country's under financial assault like never before. Our government has put us $34 trillion in debt. The interest alone's more than we spend on military defense. And what's worse, other countries no longer believe the U.S. is a safe place to invest. There's a growing international movement to dump U.S. dollars at a record pace. Some economists say this may signal the end of the dollar. Now, these countries are instead buying gold, and I'm suggesting you do the same. My friends at Swiss America have been helping Americans like you and me for over 40 years to buy physical gold and silver for delivery to our homes or held in our IRAs. I've trusted Swiss America for nearly 25 years now, and you can trust them too. So don't wait. Call or text the number on the screen today for financial peace of mind in these troubling times.
Did you know that thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing? If you've written a book, Page Publishing can help you through the process. We cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you. If we decide to publish your book, your work ends and ours begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art, we get you printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and in bookstores across the country. We'll even help you promote your book. That's right, we do all this for you. Biography, self-help, mystery, novels, sci-fi, even a children's book. No matter what genre, Page Publishing can bring your book to life. Call today for your free author submission kit and find out how you can be the next published author at Page Publishing.
For your free author submission kit, call 1-800-319-0257. That's 1-800-319-0257. 1-800-319-0257. Call now.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces? Then it might be time to consider Nano hearing aids. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Nano hearing aids are now offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Call now and get 2 CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. And if you're not happy, return them for a full refund.
Welcome back, everyone. I want to turn now to California, specifically LA County, ravaged by those wildfires, where it could take, by some accounts, up to 18 months to start any meaningful reconstruction. So President Trump put the pressure on to get people back into their property, start sifting through the debris. And you know what that resulted in? This. Obviously, they didn't listen to President Trump. That's a 15-page order to opt in for either government help or whether you're going to do private help. And then the county supervisor there, Lindsay Horvath, proved what a super nanny county this really is.
Los Angeles County Department of Public Health provides PPE at these checkpoints. These include respirators, gloves, goggles, and protective suit, and as well as guidance on how to wear it and why you need to use it. Please use this PPE when you return to your homes.
Give me a freaking break. People can decide whether or not they want to wear personal protection equipment or not. They just want to sift through the debris, and they don't need PPE, for crying out loud. So they're so focused on the masks. I don't know what it is. They want everyone to look like a liberal with the stupid masks. Come on. So the delay becomes even more of a delay because now they're going to recruit their federal partners. The EPA, nothing happens fast with the EPA.
Phase 2 can start as soon as Phase 1 is completed by the EPA, not in its entirety. Phase 2 will begin once Phase 1 is completed in each property. If neighbors work together to submit ROEs, you will be able to move more quickly.
So I got to rely on my neighbor to move more quickly as I go to Phase 1 and Phase 2, when literally President Trump says, let them in and start cleaning it out in 24 hours. They don't listen to him. President Trump vowed to get the permitting process out of the way. I don't know if the Environmental Protection Agency heard President Trump. We got a new administrator there in Lee Zeldin. But let me give you a little reminder of President Trump's order to the EPA.
We're going to essentially waive all federal permits. We're going to have you go very quickly because a federal permit can take 10 years. We're not going to do that. We don't want to take 10 days.
No, we don't want to take 10 days. They're talking about Phase 1, Phase 2. I'm going to be 90 years old by the time these homes in Palisades are rebuilt. This is insanity. I'm going to think you're going to see a lot of people leave. Really. They're not going to want to rebuild. They're not going to want to deal with this. Well, joining me now is Mike Hohos. You know, we do Morning Drive Radio out on AM 870 in Los Angeles, California. Jen Horn is back with me. Jen, welcome.
Always great to see you, even if I'm here in crazy California. And I'm sorry I don't have my liberal lunatic costume on today with my hazmat suit and my mask. It's a disaster out here.
Jen, you know, I asked Joel Pollack, a friend of ours over at Breitbart, who nearly lost his home, didn't thankfully, but is in one of these affected neighborhoods. And I said, you ever think of just leaving? I mean, you listen to a news conference like this. How are the people supposed to get through and go on with their lives with these Phase 1, Phase 2s, wear the masks?
It's so interesting because we really felt so hopeful. And the residents of Palisades and the Eaton Fire, they felt hopeful when President Trump was in town because he said, let's cut the regulations. Karen Bass was sitting beside him. Grant, you and I talked about this, saying, oh, we want to get people back into their homes. It might take a week. And we learned that a woman starts weeping because it's been 3 weeks now since the fire. And these people haven't even been able to go back and comb through the rubble to see if there's actually something left that they can save. So Karen Bass lies directly to the president, although makes it seem like she's following orders by telling residents that they can get back in because President Trump was here. So they sped that up. But Grant, we learned that they have to wait for an orange pass to get up the street. Instead of just being able to drive their car up there, people were waiting in line for 5 hours to get to their homes. And I think what is also being missed here, and maybe the ultimate irony, is that California is making everybody wait because they bow at the altar of the environmentalists in the state. This is why we're in so much trouble, truly, is because of the unions and the environmentalists in California. But It's laughable. Joel Pollack has a piece out today that says that California is actually emitting 6 times more carbon than any other state, even though we're the ones that are killing ourselves trying to meet these guidelines about low carbon emissions. It's ridiculous. It's because of the wildfires, because of these policies. And as you mentioned, the only reason they're worried about contamination by and large is because of everybody's electric vehicle and because of all of these batteries that have been destroyed during the fire. People are... It's ridiculous to watch how this state has tried to set us up for safety so that we can do the right thing. And instead, they're putting people in hazmat suits to deal with the mess that they've caused.
Well, you told me about the fish. They're literally saving one by one in the streams as they try to release water into the state. They'd rather save fish than people, which just boggles my mind. And then it's the mentality. This left wing, I'm going to play a soundbite from you. This again is Lindsay Horvath talking about collaborative and collective. This is all about equity here, right? Roll this clip.
Here are tips that we recommend to accelerate the process for you. Work with your neighbors to opt into a government-led program or your private contractor program. It is not only important for you to decide what you want to do with your individual property, it's important that you work with your neighbors so we can have a collaborative, collective approach to your neighborhood.
Jen, a collaborative, collective approach, working with the government and your partner, and you better all agree on how you want to do it, otherwise nothing's going to get done.
Yeah, I know you, Grant, and I know me, and I know we both really value our privacy. And you know what I say makes the best neighbor? One that stays on his side of the fence and takes care of his yard and takes care of his business. And I don't have Barbara from down the street peering in my front window. That's the best neighbor. The best neighbor is one that waves at me when I'm getting out of my car in the morning and goes on their way to work. This is what these liberals do not understand. They think everything has to be collaborative because that will slow down the process. And I honestly think at this point, it feeds conspiracy theorists who are saying they actually want us to leave California so that they can build up whatever kind of beautiful city they want to use as a model for the nation about energy efficiency. I'm telling you, they are not trying to keep us. We should allow people to go in, take care of their own home, rebuild on their own time. If it's going to take one person 3 years, fine. But if somebody wants to rebuild in 6 weeks, they should be able to do that.
It may be that they want to chase conservatives out to do exactly what you said, have all this multifamily housing, no more suburbs, only inner cities, and ruin what really was once a great state. We talked a lot about Joel Pollack today, but he was on the radio with us this morning. He says, we always had the mountains and the ocean. Now they ruin the mountains with the fires, and all the runoff from the fires is going into the ocean. They close the beaches down. So now they're ruining everything in that state. But I know you're fighting for it, Jen, and so am I, because we love the people of California, and there's so many conservatives out there. And truthfully, I love the liberals, too. I want them to have the best. I just need them to wake up a little bit, Jen.
That's right. They ruined the state. They should leave. We didn't. We should be able to stay and enjoy our state. And I tell you why I feel so passionately about saving California. Because if we don't, it is going to be a downward slide for the rest of the country. Because what they try to do in California, it's like an infection for the rest of the country.
Yeah, sure is. All right, Jen Horn, I will see you bright and early California time on the radio tomorrow out at AM 870. You can watch us on Rumble. We do stream, and we have an awful lot of fun. So I would urge people to check that out. It would be 9 a.m. Eastern time on Rumble. Just type in the morning answer. Jen, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, absolutely. Hey, folks, grass-fed beef liver is one of the greatest concentrations of nutrients you can add to your diet. It plays a vital role in supporting your heart, brain, and immune system while boosting energy and improving overall health. Sacred Humans beef liver capsules. Now that's the way to get your beef liver in the capsule form. I like this. Offer a natural alternative to synthetic multivitamins, providing nutrients in a form your body knows how to use efficiently. Visit sacredhumanhealth.com today. Use the code PATRIOT for 10% off and explore their full range of all natural supplements. The left is scared to death of young conservatives, and this New York Magazine cover story is proof. What does it say there? The cruel kids table. Now, that's not very nice. Who's the leader of the cruel kids? We're going to talk to her next.
Declaration, America was born. Inspired by a belief in the God-given rights of every human being, and in the good that comes from exercising these rights well. The founders of our great nation chose independence. As do we. Hillsdale College accepts no government funding because independence makes possible the good to which we aspire.
What if you could tackle your dog's itching, soft stools, and low energy? Millions of pet parents are raving about Dr. Marty Nature's Blend.
Such a huge difference in her health. More energy, more playful, no more pooping issues.
I'm Dr. Marty. I've been a veterinarian for more than 50 years. The dangerous ingredients added to many pet foods could be impacting your dog's lifespan. That's why I formulated Nature's Blend.
Now you can feed your dog wholesome cuts of real meat, vegetables, and fruit with no artificial preservatives or fillers. Try Dr. Marty risk-free. Go to drmartypets.com/TV.
Are you sitting right now? It could be harming your health. Back pain, stress, and serious health risks can build up from sitting too long. But motion changes everything. Introducing Ready Rocker with its patented Rock Perfect design that supports your spine as it helps improve posture, relieve back pain, boost circulation, and release endorphins for your overall well-being, no matter where you are. Lightweight, portable, and covered in memory foam, Ready Rocker instantly transforms any chair or space into a healthier sitting experience.
Sitting too long isn't just uncomfortable, it's unhealthy. With Ready Rocker, we make sitting a healthier experience for people of all ages.
From soothing babies to helping with posture, back pain, and stress, we discovered that rocking can truly improve lives.
Sitting is the new smoking. A sedentary lifestyle, whether you're sitting at a desk or in a vehicle all day, is not good for the body to just stay in that same position. And that's why the Ready Rocker is so effective. The rocking motion constantly keeps you active and helps you ease pain, reduces stress. It actually releases endorphins in the brain. It's a mood booster.
I used to be in pain all the time, but with Ready Rocker, I felt relief and I'm in a better mood. I take it everywhere.
I can literally feel the stress being taken off my joints while rocking.
My back stopped hurting, my arthritis felt better. It's just wonderful.
Now you can join the movement that's changing lives and helping thousands find relief. Call now or go online to get 40% off your purchase. We'll even ship it for free. Plus, you'll get this bonus seat cushion.
Ready Rocker is changing lives one rock at a time.
Now it's your turn to experience the relief for yourself.
Call 800-580-5156 or go to GetReadyRocker.com. That's 800-580-5156 or go to GetReadyRocker.com. Call now.
Well, folks, I don't know if you saw this, but New York Magazine wrote an article and they called it The Cruel Kids Table. All right, that's the cover right there. Now, they're trying to slam, of course, white, upper middle class, young conservatives who happen to be much better looking than our liberal counterparts. And I will tell you that the Trump movement has made America hotter again, and it certainly has made conservatives hotter again. I'll tell you, most liberals are pretty ugly. I don't know whether it's just their anger. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to admit that or not, but I call it like I see it. So they wanted to slam these young conservatives with this piece, but I don't think they did a very good job of it. I want to bring in now, she's in the centerpiece for this magazine, The Cruel Kids Table, and she is the CMO of the conservative dating app, The Right Stuff, and founder of New York City's Make America Hot Again events. Raquel DeBono is with us. Raquel, welcome to the program.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. I mean, if that's what the cruel kids look like, then I want to see it at that table.
Well, J.D. Vance actually tweeted, I thought it was perfect. So J.D. Vance tweets this: it's like they're trying to make us look cool. And really they did. And I will tell you, Raquel, I read the article. I actually didn't think the article was that bad. The headline was what was bad. The article was okay. Your thoughts?
I actually thought it was as good as you can expect from New York Magazine. This is a liberal publication that prides itself on bashing conservatives, and they can't stand the fact that we look good. They can't stand the fact they hate us. They hate us because they ain't us, and that is just the truth.
All right, let me read you. All right, first, this was like the worst I could pull out of it. So they're talking about all of you who meet at Raheem Kassam's bar, Butterfield's, in Washington, D.C. on Inauguration Night. And they say, rebels once again storming Capitol Hill, though without the pathetic scariness of the January 6th rioters. So, of course, they got to bring up J6. But you guys are just getting together and celebrating. And I think they actually just don't like the fact that we're celebrating.
I mean, it was inauguration weekend. The young MAGA movement is out there, and we are excited and we are proud of what we've accomplished. This was a party that celebrated the influencers and the young people who sort of brought to light this new era of MAGA and Trumpisms, and they just can't stand to see it. They hate the fact that it's a good-looking group of people because they want to see, a group of ugly, chubby, fat, blue-haired girls, and that's what would make them happy. Mask wearing, exactly. And they're just mad that we're actually showing our faces and we're not ashamed. So it's a little bit weird to me. They just can't handle it. And that's frankly the truth. But it's, like I said, it's as good as we're going to get from New York Mag.
There are some subtle slams in here, right? If you show the cover again, guys, it looks to me like it's all white kids. Can we show the cover one more time? There you go. And I say kids, I mean that as young people. I'm 55 years old. I wish I was back your age. So it's all white, but the whole event wasn't all white. There were black people there. There were all of all colors and religions and you name it, weren't there?
Yeah, I mean, the co-host of the event was C.J. Pearson, who is a black man. But the article obviously neglected to mention that. They say that, he didn't give them a quote, but, we both gave different articles and different people and different news outlets different quotes. So I just think this whole story that we're like the white supremacist KKK group coming together to spew hate is getting a bit old, and it's really tiresome. And I don't know. It makes sense that they're not so good looking because, I mean, when you act like that.
Exactly. It is an ugly way to act. I'll tell you my favorite line in the whole article. And again, the article wasn't that bad. They talked about how there were gays involved in this and that Republicans weren't shunning the gay population, which usually the media will tell you that we do and we don't. But this is funny. These young conservative parties are 80% men and 20% of the most beautiful women you've ever seen. What better thing could they write about you, Raquel? That's pretty darn good, isn't it?
I will take it, let me tell you. And if this is Mean Girls and this is Cruel Kids, then the Cruel Kids are so back and Mean Girls are back, and call us what you want. But I mean, that picture is like a Monet painting. Every time you look, you see something different and you see something out of the ordinary. It's an exciting picture. It's magnetic. It's candid, and they can't take that. They made us look too good, so the title had to change the narrative.
All right, so in Washington, D.C., I'm sure for a long time conservatives were shunned. You can't even, it's hard to get reservations at restaurants. They tell you anybody associated with a Republican administration is going to be shunned. But you guys have the Right Stuff dating app that's really for conservatives to connect. I would imagine it does really well in blue cities. I hope you do well in red cities, but I would imagine it's really needed in blue ones.
Yeah, 100%. So we've slowly been putting together a series of events, especially in New York City, where we've been doing these events and calling them Make America Hot Again, and trying to show that, this is not your mom and dad's Republican Party. This is a new era. This is a new generations. Conservatives are good looking. Meet someone who, has the same values as you, wants a family, wants similar things. And the reality is that to find a partner who you connect with, those values are integral to finding that person.
Yep. Sure is true. Raquel DeBono, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. Good luck with future parties. Maybe I get invited to one, and we'll see you soon.
You can be one of the Cruel Kids, too.
All right. Sounds good. I appreciate that. I don't know. I like to think we're pretty cool. All of Stinchfield's Army is pretty cool. Now, the hot portion, I don't know if we could do that. We try. All right. President Trump has recently called for changes to taxes that we pay. What's it mean? Next.
My back got injured very bad. I was off work for about a year. I heard about Relief Factor from my wife. I took it every day 3 times a day for 3 weeks. I look at her and I said, the pain is gone. And she said, I'm glad it helped. I said, no, you don't understand. It's gone.
Relief Factor is a daily supplement that doesn't just mask pain, it helps eliminate it. Call or go online now for our 3-week quick start, just $19.95.
Hello, this is Mike Huckabee. President Trump said he wants to take back the White House and teach our kids to love our country. That's why my team created a kids guide to President Trump. It'll teach your kids all about President Trump's accomplishments and his vision for America. And right now, I want to give it to you for free as part of this free gift bundle.
Order your free kids guide to President Trump, get a free bonus guide, and a free membership to AMAC featuring dozens of money-saving benefits at kidsneedtrump.com. That's kidsneedtrump.com.
If you're over 40 and taking probiotics, stop. Americans are choking down fistfuls of probiotics, all focused on billions and billions. Yet they're still feeling sicker and sicker and fatter and fatter. I'm Dr. Stephen Gundry, and I call it the great probiotic hoax. There are critical nutrients missing from many popular probiotic supplements. And this may be why you are still suffering from weight gain, gas and bloating, and joint discomfort. That's why I created BioComplete 3. Only BioComplete 3 contains prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics to target the nasty gut destroyers that can hijack your health. Thousands have used it. It's a major part of how I lost 70 pounds and feel 20 years younger. For a limited time, you can try BioComplete 3 risk-free for 90 days. Go to guthealthsecret.com.
Wow is on sale now at Cabinets to Go.
It's our buy one, get one free sale. Get your dream kitchen for as low as just $155 per month. Hurry, this buy one, get one free sale ends soon.
Cabinets to Go. Wow for less.
Most bad guys do things for money. The equity in your home was a treasure trove for the bad guys. By downloading one simple document, forging your name onto that document, and using a fake notary stamp, the bad guy can transfer your home's title into their name. Home Title Lock has 24/7 monitoring of your home's title, and any change, you will be alerted. Go to HomeTitleLock.com. The peace of mind that offers is invaluable.
The bathroom of your dreams is only a phone call away with BCI Bath and Shower. We can make your ordinary bath and shower extraordinary. This is not a cookie cutter design. This is a complete custom build that will fit your every need, and discounts for seniors and military.
One of my favorite plans from President Trump is the no tax on tips, right? Because if you talk to waiters and waitresses out there, the IRS chases after them. Listen to this story Trump told.
But a young waitress came up and I said, how are you doing? And in my restaurant in the hotel. And Trump, I said, how are you doing? And she said, not great, because they're after me so viciously for tips. They just want my tip income and they don't believe me and all of this. And she said, it's terrible. You know, sir, you should have no tax on tips. I said, what? I said, what did you just say? No tax on tips. That was about the amount of my consultation.
Well, bring her into the administration with you, Mr. President. It was a great idea. I want to bring in now from Tax Network USA, Cameron Kinsey is with us. Cameron, it's good to see you.
Great to see you, Grant. Thanks for having me on.
All right, so I would imagine, we talk a lot about small business owners. We talk about people that owe taxes that haven't paid. I would think waiters and waitresses could fall on this, that they certainly would be targets, as this young lady was saying to President Trump.
Oh, absolutely. And we saw that over and over again during the Biden-Harris administration with the government overreach. They weren't just targeting millionaires, billionaires, the top 1%. They were targeting everyday Americans. And we saw this in every single capacity, right? Not just with the IRS, with the FBI, targeting parents at school board meetings, et cetera. But, this is a no-brainer. Hardworking Americans should be able to keep every single dollar they earn. Tips aren't a bonus. They're part of people's livelihoods. And the government has no business taking a cut of that. And President Trump understands that the best way to help workers isn't really just through handouts. It's by letting them keep more of what they earn and increasing productivity that way. No tax on tips means real reliefs for restaurant workers, hotel staff, service industry employees who are already dealing with the rising costs thanks to Biden's disastrous economy. And hopefully we will see that turnaround under the Trump administration.
How relentless are agents when they call? And is that one of the reasons why Tax Network USA can be so helpful to people?
No, of course. And it's just important to have an expert in your corner. You know, the tax code is complex. The IRS has been weaponized against the American people for far too long. And under the Biden administration, we've seen it grow into a bloated, abusive agency that targeted small businesses, middle-class families. We saw this with the 87,000 IRS agents that they hired, the $80 billion budget increase, and then requesting more money as well. So, you know, President Trump is ready to put the power back where it belongs, with the people, a streamlined tax system, free from IRS overreach. So we're really just here to help with the audits, liens, levies. We're just in your corner every single step of the way during this process, just to give you peace of mind.
All right, this may be anecdotal. I don't know if you got an answer for me on this, but now with President Trump in office for the last week, have the calls and from potential customers increased? Is the IRS doubling down before President Trump gets this agency under control, or has it slowed down? Have you seen any difference in the first week of President Trump's presidency with the IRS?
Yeah, so I'll answer that in two parts. First, you know, we've seen Trump's hiring freeze basically highlighting how government inefficiency affects taxpayers. So with fewer IRS employees, taxpayers, you know, experience delays in receiving refunds. You know, obviously, we've gotten an influx of calls. The 2024 tax season actually kicked off January 27th. So it is really critical for taxpayers to be prepared now more than ever with potential IRS delays. Filing early can really just help avoid the headaches, just to ensure that you're getting your refund on time. So at Tax Network, we simplify the process. We protect you from costly mistakes, giving you peace of mind during the tax season. So yes, we have seen some changes. Hopefully we will see more, just because I do not think we will see that government that we've seen in the Biden-Harris administration. Yeah. But of course it is tax season as well. So we're hearing from more individuals.
Yeah, I could see that. I can tell you that things have slowed down because I am due what I would call a sizable refund from a business situation that didn't go the way I wanted it to go from 2022. They've had that now for 8 months, and I am still waiting for my refund. It says being processed, so we shall see. Cameron Kinsey, let me tell people how they can get to Tax Network USA, and we appreciate you coming on as always. Here's what you do, folks. Visit tnusa.com. That is tnusa.com, or call 1-800-905-8000. That is 1-800-905-8000, tnusa.com, and the folks over there can really help you out. If the IRS calls, call them right away. You don't want to wait around on that one. All right, after all the hand-wringing over feminism and not putting down fellow women, Joy Behar breaks the rules and attacks Trump's female press secretary.
Hello, friends. Pat Boone here with a message from the past. Imagine the shock of reading tomorrow's newspaper and discovering the price of gold has doubled to over $1,000 an ounce. Sound impossible? Well, it's not. That's right. Back in 2006, my friends at Swiss America forecast gold prices would top $1,000 an ounce, and they were right. Today, several financial firms are forecasting $3,000 gold. Now, for over 40 years, Swiss America has helped folks like you and me purchase precious metals for home delivery and for our IRAs. So don't miss this opportunity again. Call or text Swiss America at the number on your screen now to receive your free portfolio review and a copy of The Timeless Truth About Gold and Silver. Learn for yourself how easy it is to safeguard your money. Call or text Swiss America today.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Legzercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Legzercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Legzercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
You asked, and we heard you, America.
Real America's Voice is coming to iHeartMedia.
Yes, Real America's Voice is now breaking through the white noise of the mainstream media.
Just download the iHeart app and you'll have all of us right at your fingertips.
Scan the QR code and start streaming RAV anywhere you want.
Real America's Voice, available whenever you need us.
It's never been easier to stay connected with the voices you trust.
RAV on iHeart means you can take us with you wherever you go.
This is huge. The truth on iHeart. Ready whenever you are.
From Charlie Kirk to Steve Bannon, Jack Posobiec to Grant Stinchfield, you'll find all your favorite RAV hosts in one place.
You can listen on Spotify, Apple, Pandora, or Amazon. RAV is now available everywhere you get your podcasts. All you need to do is scan the QR code right now.
Download the iHeart app today and get ready for Real America's Voice.
Scan the QR code and join the RAV movement.
Again, folks, President Trump's new press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, knocked it out of the park yesterday. I don't care whether she's hot, ugly, man, woman. She did great. And apparently, the left thinks everything matters. I guess it's only about looks.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
I mean, what a misogynistic thing to say. She's only there because she's pretty? Well, let me tell you something. She is making the White House hot again. She's very pretty. But she's also wildly smart, well-schooled, and very disciplined. And that's why she makes a great press secretary. Now, why is Gen Z so attracted to conservatives? We just talked about the cruel table kids. Here's Raheem Kassam.
Certainly, I don't think I'd lead with, philosophy. I don't think they're all sitting around reading F.A. Hayek or anything like that. But it's an attitude. It's a swagger. It's a beauty that's grounded in truth. People are kind of sick of being morally hectored by the left, as if the left has any moral grounds to stand on.
They don't. It's also about winning, because that's what we're doing, folks. We're winning, and young people like winning too. It's going to do it for us. Stinchfield's Army rolls. Thanks to you. That's why we're winning. We will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. See you.
From Studio 6B on a Wednesday, big night. What even is that? Coming up at 9 o'clock. Slick's going to have sports. Mr. Nolan's here. He's going to have some news. Rick Delgado's on double duty tonight. He's got some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Live from Studio 6B, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Real America's Voice. And across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio, Long Island, New York. Glad to have everybody in.
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on. Lots to do on a Wednesday night. Busy news day.
What, something happened today?
I think so. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
What's coming up in sports? Any big news in sports today?
Well, we have some sad news. That 18-year-old Eagles fan passed away that fell off the pole that was celebrating. What a terrible news for the city of brotherly love. And Martina Navratilova is out endorsing a potential president, new Olympic Committee president there, who actually wants to ban trans athletes and spin the Olympics. So that's good to see that's out there. Of course, we'll have some live scores and we'll have some rodeo too for you, Big D.
All right, Slick, very good. We'll get to that. Welcome on into everybody on social media, whether it's Gettr, Facebook, or Rumble, wherever you're watching. Welcome on in. Mr. Nolan, how are you?
I am well, my friend.
3 hours and 32 minutes this morning. I streamed every second and every word of RFK's hearing. And you joined me for a little bit of it, so we'll talk a little bit about that. How was the rest of your day after that?
I had a really nice day. Saturday was brutal, then Sunday, nice family day, and then Monday it was all day. And so I came here Monday night. I kind of owe the audience an apology. I was a little on the sleepy side. Well, I am on 4 gallons of caffeine right now, and I'm ready to talk about politics.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
All right, Paul Nolan will have some thoughts. Definitely has some thoughts. Paul's got a great idea that he said this morning. I thought about it. I couldn't get it out of my mind all day. I think it's a great idea. We'll talk about that. Rick Delgado's on double duty tonight. He's got news. Plus, he's got What Even Is That at 9 o'clock. How are you?
Yes, I am well.
How was your day?
It got so much better as soon as I walked in here.
Of course.
Not because only Paul was here.
Oh, see, he's backtracking.
Which we enjoy, of course.
I
said not only because of that.
Okay. What was the other reason?
The other reason was because, well, at first it didn't look good. I saw a poopy face sitting there, and I was like, oh, boy. But then he meandered his way into the kitchen and found a brand new coffee machine, and now he's Mr. Happy Face.
Are you talking about me?
Yes.
Aaron's laughing at you because I've been happy the whole time since I've been here. What are you talking about?
Oh.
That's called focus, what you see.
Oh, is that what that's called?
Yes.
Okay.
Unlike you, I prepared to do the show. I'm sitting here focused for the last hour.
Oh. Yeah, and I think this is fake news because it's not a brand new coffee machine.
Hey,
there's a story behind it. New to us. Anything's new to us.
Right.
I'm going to tell you something. It tastes good, too. And it did this cup in about a minute.
I'm going to say one
which
thing
is 4
about
minutes
that.
quicker than the old one.
Wow.
Our girl Jen is a gem. A gem bringing in a coffee maker. Are you kidding me?
Aaron?
Does it? Yep. She's a gem.
Aaron,
yes, she is.
And what was great
maybe
is that
even
she
American
set it up,
treasure.
She set it up right there. Nobody noticed.